What's going on, guys? Today, we're post-commentating. So in addition to the Generals update, where Generals will limp away after being defeated in a fight, the developers also added a brand new spell, and I'm not going to update yet, because if I update, then I can't watch these replays. The spell is called Heavy Healing Wisp. A wisp that heals one heavy unit at a time for 10 seconds, heals for 30 health per second. So to put this to the test, I played some games with the one and only Bloxroad. That's right, the man, the myth, and the legend himself. And we did two different decks. Well, we both went the exact same type of deck to make it even, but we did two different variations. This first one, we both ran a giant strat with wings, because giants are one of the best ways to test out how this heavy healing wisp works and how much health it heals in a heavy unit. And let me say, Heavy Healing Wisp is no joke. Now, it has a 60-second cooldown, and it only heals one heavy unit at a time. So those two factors do help to balance it out. And there was also talk that Mass Heal was changed, so I suggested that we both bring Mass Heal to see if it's been finally nerfed. And I definitely know for a fact that it was not nerfed. Mass Heal is still kind of broken. I think the only thing they did was like reduce the amount of time it takes to heal the 100 health. So for I think it went from 8 to 6 seconds or something. Let me tell you right now that there's no change in Mass Heal. It's still insanely broken. So they do a bit of a wing trade right there. I thought I could do a select the wing and then dodge his arrow while landing my last shot, but it didn't work that way. So both of our wings end up getting killed. But it's no big deal. Except he maintained tower control, so he's still getting extra gold. But I didn't think it was that big of an issue, so here we go, another wing fight. But then I realized we're just gonna have the same result of a wing trade while he takes tower. So I thought, let's just back up, wait till we get some more wings. No? Looks like I decide to fight this. Oh, I know why. I tested out Mass Heal. So here's Mass Heal. Nothing's really changed about it. It's still kind of insanely broken. It heals 100 health for an insanely short period of time, so your unit becomes invincible for that short period. So one of the people in the Discord had suggested a fix to Mass Heal. Actually, it was Xerxes. He suggested that Mass Heal work like Heavy Healing Wisp, where it can only heal one unit at a time instead of healing every single unit on the map. Because healing every single unit on the map right now is what makes Mass Heal so broken. That and the fact that it heals a high amount of health in such a short period of time. So here we go. We both now have our first giant out. He has the first giant growth, already about to have the second one. I only have the first one. So if we were to have a battle right now, he would have a lead over me. He has a lead with the giant growths, and he has a lead with the wing count, so I can't really contest this. Okay, so here, again, I make a mistake. He already has the second tier giant growth. I'm loading my second tier, but as you can see, we're going to be waiting for a moment. So this is where my giant takes a lot of damage, but it's fine, because you're going to see the Heavy Healing Wisp in action. So here we go. I know at some point I cast the Heavy Healing Wisp. There it is. So you may think, oh, well, that's a pretty short healing period. It's actually still going. The wisps are floating down there by the giant's leg, which means, the wisp will still be healing him. The only reason why it's not is because, the giant's full health. You can't heal a giant that's in full health. That's kind of not how it works. Alright, so his third tier giant growth is kicked in, so he has the 1450 health. We are still sitting at 1300, so I thought, okay, he was ahead of me with getting the giant growth upgrades, so I couldn't really try to fight him. But I do have 3 giants where he only has 2 right now. I'm not sure where he seems to be falling behind, because I have the economic lead, because, look at the Vault of Prudence difference. I'm sitting at 2,800, almost 3,000 gold, and with 3 giants. But he's only sitting at 472, and he just queued his 3rd giant. So something happened that caused him to fall behind a bit, economically speaking. But that doesn't mean he's at that big of a disadvantage. So here we go. We all have maxed out giants. And you're going to see the heavy healing wisp in action here. It turned out to be pretty freaking good. In giant v giant fights, you can use a heavy healing wisp on one single giant, and that giant will become a mega tank. So here we go. I use it on my giant. Look at this. Look at the amount of health that it's giving. And I think this can also be stacked with the mass heal. I think. I can't really tell right now. So right now we're both doing the same strat of trying to cheese each other's wings, but he activates mass heal at the perfect time to prevent his wings from getting killed from my giant. And it actually looks like I think they actually changed mass heal to where it doesn't affect, it either doesn't affect heavy units anymore or it just doesn't affect giants anymore. Because his wings were gaining health, but my giants, his wings were gaining health, but his giants didn't seem to be gaining health from the mass heal. So once again, just back and forth fights of us cheesing each other's wings. Both of our heavy healing wisp spells are about to recharge, and this was dumb. I wanted to select that weak giant to garrison it, but I couldn't do it because he was overlaid over my other giant, and so, you know, they both just kind of died. So here we go. We have heavy healing wisp going on our giants, and like I said, it lasts for a long time, and it heals a ton of health. So your giant essentially becomes invincible for a short period of time. Alright, so as you can see, I do end up losing that fight, but again, the economic difference is what's helping me out here. I'm still sitting almost at 5,000 gold, with my Vault of Prudence giving me a lot of good resources, and it looks like he is barely able to pull out the gold for more giants. I'm not sure why he garrisoned his miners either. That was definitely a mistake on his part. You can see he's trying to get another giant out. I got the heavy healing wisp going as well, and that giant, the damage from his wings was just completely removed for that short period of time. So yeah, like I said, I wasn't really paying attention to see what went wrong on his end, but it seems he really isn't able to keep up with the economic side of things. I mean, we both have the exact same deck, but somehow I have I have an economic lead, so I'm able to afford giants to my heart's content, whereas I think this is the final giant that he was able to afford, especially considering I had to make him garrison his miners off of eco. So rolling in once again. Alright, and here is where he is going for his last ditch effort heavy healing wisp. So our two giants are just getting a massive influx of health right now. It's a good way for heavy units to tank more. It definitely is. And I feel like this would be even better for units like Speartons that just get absolutely shredded in most situations. You can put a heavy healing wisp on a Spearton, and that Spearton will become an amazing tank for that short period of time. And in fact, in the next game, we both ran a Spiriture strat, I think. I can't remember off the top of my head exactly what we used, but you'll be able to see it soon. Alright, so here we go. This time, we both switched to Spears, Archers, Giants, Heavy Healing Wisp, Acid Rain, Sputin tower spawn and Miner Hustle. Now, the Acid Rain was a stupid idea on my part. I was like, you know, let's just both bring a huge weakness against Archodons and just see if it makes the game more interesting. And I will admit it definitely did. So here we go. We both have our Archodon start. His Archer came out faster than mine because I chose to go more eco heavy here. As you can see, 4 miners to 3 miners. So, you know, a very tiny eco lead that means literally nothing considering he was able to beat me in the Archodon 1v1. So I thought, you know what, let me throw an Acid Rain out to force his Archer away. Well, it doesn't matter because he was able to secure tower before that happened. So I thought, you know what, his Archodon still has the garrison. Meanwhile, my Archodons are fully healed, so I can bring my 2 archers out and try and steal tower from him. Well, it doesn't exactly work because guess what? The second my Archodon reaches tower, kabam, the Spiriton comes out, so we have to retreat. And we wouldn't have taken the tower from him anyway because he had that Archodon coming up in the back. So if he was to use a heavy healing wisp here, it would have been deadly, but he doesn't go for it here. He just goes for eco cheese, you know, just about the right thing to do against this. Okay, so he used the Acid Rain this time, but it's fine because my Archodons are nowhere near getting poisoned by that. This is a pretty bold move from him too, opting to not move that poisoned Archer away. And I just thought, you know what, I'll just throw on the heavy healing wisp and not worry about it. Now here's something strange. The wisp just kind of left the Spiriton. I don't know why. I don't know if that was intentional. I thought the way this healing wisp worked is it would heal a unit and continue to follow it. But the wisp is still here and my Spiriton is way over here. But then check this out. My Spiriton's gonna get back in range and guess what? Now the wisps are gonna follow him. But then they don't follow him anymore. So I don't know, there's just something weird about it. I'm still trying to understand how this heavy healing wisp works. It seems if you stray too far from the wisp, they won't actually follow your heavy unit anymore, if I had to guess. I'm not really sure. But as you can see, the damage that we take just gets healed right off. So I feel like something like this is going to be perfect for Spiritons. So perfect play by him, activating the Acid Rain, forcing me to back my Archodons away. So I thought, you know what, we'll just rush with the Spiritons. And kabam, he has the first giant. And when I saw that, I freaking panicked. I thought, okay, he already has a giant. Meanwhile, we are nowhere near having enough resources for a giant. I'm still picking up 2 miners. I'm still trying to establish my economy. Meanwhile, he already has a giant out. But this is where the beauty of Acid Rain kicks in. Because on paper, he would pretty much win this game. If he ran in with this one giant, used the healing wisp, he would pretty much beat me. But I could use Acid Rain as a trump card to prevent him from rushing in with his archers. If he chose to attack with the Spiritons and the giant, then his army wouldn't be as powerful. So again, that's why Acid Rain made this really interesting. And I thought, okay, you know what? Trying to build more spears and archers when he already has the giant is pretty worthless, so the best thing to do is to just go for the giant right away, and so that's what I did. And he's picking up the 3rd tier Spiriton tower spawn, so that Spiriton's gonna have 800 health once it loads. And imagine putting heavy healing wisp on that. That Spiriton will be unstoppable. Okay, so here we go. I finally have my first giant. I thought at this point he would have more than 1 giant, and he actually does. He already has 2 giants. And I tried to press here thinking, okay, I have a giant now, I can try to contest. And that answer's no, because he just has more giants than me. But this is where Acid Rain comes in perfectly because I don't have to worry about it hitting my Archodons. Right now, we are the ones being forced to play defensive. So I can free the Acid Rain and force him off tower. And you can see I selected a Spiriton and I'm going for tower because I forced all of his units off of it. And as you can see, I'm also starting to build out my tower spawn. because it would be stupid to not do it, especially considering I'm pretty confident I'm going to be able to take tower from him. But he's coming back in for it, and as far as our armies are concerned, he still has a slight lead over me. Yeah, especially in the Archidon count. But I thought, you know, to let him continue to build peacefully would be a mistake, so I thought, okay, let's just hard engage this. So I saw, okay, you know what, I'm kind of falling behind pretty massively here, so I throw on the heavy healing wisp, and he's doing the same thing. So our giants are just going to be invulnerable for that short period of time. So this is where I activate the trump card. I use Acid Rain to force his Archidons away. Meanwhile, my archers actually did get poisoned, but that's fine. I am way closer to my garrison than he is. Okay, looks like he actually falls back. I thought he'd continue to hard engage, but no. He backs off, which is a smart thing to do. And so you can see, there we go. We have an 800 health spirit spawn here. So he could throw heavy healing wisp on that, and that spiritomb will regain a ton of health. But as you can see, it's still in cooldown, so, you know, obviously he wouldn't be able to do it. But I was barely able to hold on to my giants at the end of that fight. So we both have, I think he has 4 giants. I think I only have 3 right now. Now I have 4. So we're even in giant count right now. Alright, so here we go. He opts to go for another attack. So he's going for the 100% offensive play. And this is again where Acid Rain comes in clutch, because now his Archidons are exposed. He has to either garrison them right now or they'll just kind of die. So I have my heavy healing wisp going on my 1 giant here. And I still end up losing 1, but I think he lost 1 as well. But here we go, the heavy healing wisp is going for him too, and it's just healing all those spiritombs. So there we go, we see all of his Archidons drop. Meanwhile, I still have all of mine, but that doesn't mean that I'm not behind here, because I still have low health giants that I have to garrison to try to heal. And he can also use the Acid Rain against me and prevent me from pressing with my archers. Oh, here we go. Check this out. He's got heavy healing wisp going on that tower spawn. And just look at how long that tower spawn's able to last. But even with the heavy healing wisp, it doesn't really matter, because I can put the exact same thing on my giant and it would pretty much restore him back to full health. I think when your giants are not upgraded, it's when heavy healing wisp is perfect. And there you go, clutch Acid Rain on his part, forcing my Archidons to back up. Oh, so check this out. The heavy healing... Okay, I get it now. So the heavy healing wisp will spread to different heavy units as it's healing. Okay. So if you have a cluster of heavy units and you put a healing wisp on them, over time, the healing wisp will spread over all of your heavy units and slowly heal them out. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. But here I just realized, yeah, I don't really win this fight, considering I can't bring in my Archidons because he can just use Acid Rain to cause problems, and he activates it here, but we're nowhere near the Acid Rain. And plus the giants can auto cure, and he can't chase with his Archidons, otherwise they'll get poisoned. So we barely escaped there, freaking barely.